Hello and welcome to the Constantly Varied Real Estate, Fitness, and Nutrition podcast. This is episode 1, and I am Heather Ford, your host.
And I'm Chuck Ford, your co-host.
Yeah.
So, what we want to do today is just kind of get this ball rolling and kind of describe what it is we want to do, where we're doing it, why we do things, and those types of questions to get it out to you and to kind of to break the ground on this whole podcast and video recording. So I'll ask some questions to Heather and she'll answer them, and then I'll have some responses. So I guess, Heather, the first thing is, who are you?
Heather Ford, like I said. In a nutshell, synopsis.
Yeah, just something quick. Tell me who you are.
I'm a mom of 2. I have both boys, 14 and 12. I went to Peru State College. Go Bobcats. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in business administration and marketing many years ago. I furthered my education outside of college, Chuck, and I have a level 1 CrossFit certificate, precision nutrition level 1 certificate,
Right. Yep.
and also have went through birth fit education. Mm-hmm. So with those things, I also coach at a gym, Lincoln Nutrition and Fitness.
Right.
And I do real estate full time with you for the 1867 Collective.
1867 Collective,
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of who you are. I'm very similar to that. I'm a little bit older than Heather, but a couple years, few years, many years. But I have my education from the University of Nebraska, Go Big Red, and I also have we went to the CrossFit seminar together, so I have my level 1 certificate. I just finished up my precision nutrition certificate, so I have that also. And I went to the birth fit place that you went to.
The seminar.
You went to the seminar. I stayed in the hotel. I had done something, hurt my knee or something that weekend.
You tore your meniscus.
Tore my meniscus, that's right before we went. So I was kind of hobbled that weekend. But I listened to a lot of the...
You listened to a lot of the birth fit education.
But I'm not birth fit certified. No. So I got my undergraduate degree at the university in horticulture with an emphasis in turf grass. And then when I took a job at the university, and the tuition was really cheap, like $3 a credit hour at the time. So I got my master's degree in business administration. Mm-hmm. I worked for the VA for like 10 years and was able to retire from there, to walk away from there. And then last year, or a little over, about a year and a half ago, we started thinking,
it was August 2020.
Yeah. How are we going to get Heather to have the freedom that I have? So we talked about real estate, and we got our broker's license, or not our broker's license, I'm sorry, our real estate sales license, and we hit the ground running. So, and like Heather said, we got it with the 1867 Collective. And we'll have a good story on that in our next episode of how we went through that. And that's kind of who we are, and we talked about where we do things. But what is it that we do in each one of these? In real estate, who do we work with? We
work with buyers and sellers in the residential market in Lincoln, Nebraska. We can represent anybody in the state of Nebraska, but we mostly stick around the Lincoln area. Sometimes Omaha. We've gone as far south as Beatrice, but really the surrounding areas of Lincoln is where we practice real estate.
It's where the meat of our...
It is where the meat of ours. It's where most of the people are that we know. Right. And that, it's just where we feel really knowledgeable and comfortable working, I think.
Right. So that's kind of who we work with. Well, who exactly do we work with, though? Do we work with... What type of people do you find that we kind of lean towards?
A lot of couples, first-time home buyers, a few single people who have been first-time home buyers, but a lot of couples looking for their first homes, or families that have grown and need more space or want to upgrade. So that's been a lot of who we work with.
And as we do it more, we start filling in the gaps, and then we just kind of
Yeah.
have we've had some older couples that have downsized or moved out of town. And
Yep.
so, yeah, we getting all sorts of different people. So that's kind of our real estate. Let's talk about fitness and what it is that you consider we do in fitness. I mean, how would you describe to me, if I didn't know you, how would you describe what we do in fitness?
Primarily CrossFit.
CrossFit.
So CrossFit is functional fitness.
Right.
It's a methodology that you train to live your life. So I work out so that I can chase after my kids all day and not get tired. Or I could carry in all the groceries from the car at once if I want to. So that's really kind of a brief explanation of what CrossFit is. And we started it in 2017 in Colorado. That's where you were living at the time.
Right.
And I had gone, you started around September. I was out there in October for a month for work detail. I also worked for the VA. And so while we were there, I went to CrossFit with you.
Right.
And fell in love. Maybe not immediately.
Yeah. A little story about that.
What's the story?
So we go to the CrossFit for the first time. I take her to the CrossFit Ken Carroll, where I was a member, and she dropped in, and we had our first workout. And then I went at least 5 nights a week, and usually on Saturday too. So we went back the second night, and she didn't want to get out of the car. She didn't want to go in. So
I stayed in the car the whole time.
That's what she did. I got out, and I was bound and determined to get my workout in. So I went in, got my workout, came back out, and she was still sitting there. But that was it. Because the next night,
I went.
She went back in and kept going. So,
yeah. I was sore.
Yep.
And my ego was a little bit bruised too, because I thought I was in okay shape. I knew I wasn't like in the greatest shape, but it was very humbling experience.
Yeah. Well, you're competitive. We should have. If nowadays, if we were to go in there, I would start you out slower and, really say, hey, you don't have to go too hard because we want you to come back tomorrow. But it was a good experience, and we're still hard.
4
at
years
it.
later, almost 5.
Yeah, we're still at it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So then after you left Colorado, what happened? When you
I came back to Lincoln, back home, and immediately joined CrossFit Lincoln.
Right.
Which is Lincoln Nutrition and Fitness. It's the same thing now. Right. But yeah, I started classes immediately, and at that point, I had definitely drank the CrossFit Kool-Aid, and I was so immersed in the CrossFit culture that I then immersed myself in the gym, the people there, the activities and events going on. I wanted to be a part of it so badly, as much as I could be, that I helped out when help was needed for different things at the gym. I went to class 5 to 6 days a week. There's amazing people there, and I've developed some really wonderful friendships there. And of course, I'm a coach, so as soon as that opportunity came up, I was all about it.
So that kind of takes us to our next step, which is nutrition. So we learned on very quickly that you can't outwork a bad diet.
So I can't do 100 burpees and eat a dozen donuts a day and
you sure can
have a 6-pack.
No, you sure you can have a 6-pack, but it won't be in your abs. it'll be on the donut side of that equation. So we've tried a lot of different things in nutrition.
For nutrition, yeah.
Let's see, worked at paleo.
We started with the zone.
The zone
because
diet.
that was the original CrossFit
like prescriptions for nutrition.
Basically. Yeah. So we did the zone
and
paleo,
keto,
Whole 30.
Yep. We've done intermittent fasting, which is more of our timing thing, which we still do. But we've taken a whole group of those kind of and picked out the parts that work best for us.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes us into our nutrition, which is something we'll talk about. We'll just dedicate a whole episode to our nutrition.
We could use a lot of time talking about nutrition.
So, and we'll do that soon. But that's kind of our nutrition thing. So we've kind of touched on who we are and where we do things and what it is we do. But why do we do what we do?
I love this question because I have a phrase that I like to use. We are who we are today because we have been who we are not.
Right.
We have been unhealthy, overweight, not working out, and it's sick even. So we have been on the other side of the spectrum. I am 5'2", and I was pregnant, but the day before I gave birth to my oldest son, I was 190 some pounds. 200 pounds on a 5'2" frame is not healthy. So, and that's kind of where I started wanting to be better, is after I had my first son. I wanted to be better. It took me a long time to get here. But, we've been where most people have been, where they struggle. So we understand. And we're not perfect. No. We're still working on it, but that's the thing. We want to be better every day.
And I think that kind of what you touched on there is, we're not perfect, but we want to be better. But our definition of perfect is beginning to change over the last few years. I think when we first started, I had those blinders on and I saw, first of all, guys that were literally 30 years younger than me or 25 years younger than me at the gym, or we would go to CrossFit competitions, to the games and things like that, and see these elite athletes.
And it's motivating.
And they're doing the same thing. I mean, I could do the same workouts as them, not at the same speed, not at the same weight, but I can definitely do the same workout. So I had this vision of being more like them. But, I mean, they are literally the elite athletes, the 10% of the top 1%.
Right.
So that are there doing that. So it's just like, I can go out and play a little softball, but I'm never going to be an Alex Rodriguez, or I can go out and throw a football. I'm never going to be a Patrick Mahomes. So I can't expect to be a Matt Frazier or a Rich Froning in the way I look or the way I move. Yeah. So I'm coming to realize that, but I can sure be the best me that I can be. And That's what we work at every day. So,
and I think that's a good point, because a lot of people, when they start something new or are trying to get in shape, they focus on, okay, I have to be perfect. Right. I have to do everything exactly the right way or it won't work. And that's just, and it happens to a lot of people, ourselves included. And you learn that it doesn't have to be perfect. If you just do one thing better than you did yesterday, then that's progress. Progress over perfection, right?
That's kind of what we're working for. So that's kind of the short take on what we're doing. Is we want to bring a podcast to you about the things that we're passionate about. Yeah,
that we're knowledgeable about. And we want to answer your questions in these topics. We have a lot of people we talk to them pretty much about both real estate and fitness and nutrition. Yeah. Almost every meeting we have with, whether they're friends or acquaintances, they always ask us about real estate. They always ask us about fitness. So we want to answer those questions that you have and give you some tips and information and things that you can help improve your life.
So that's what we want to do. Next week, next episode, we're going to have our broker from the 1867 Collective, Brad Hulse, is going to be our guest.
Owner and broker,
that's correct. And after that, I think we're going to do one about CrossFit and what that means to us and how we got, a little bit more of the story and some of the things that we've done. And then we'll just kind of keep going from there. So, Heather, how can our viewers find us if they're looking for us?
This podcast will be on all major directories. So Apple, Spotify, probably Google, maybe a couple others. We'll make sure we include the list of where you can find our podcast or where you can listen in. And then you can also find us on Instagram at Constantly Varied. You can find us on Facebook at The Ford Realtors. And you can find us through our brokerage website, the1867collective.com.
And the 1867, they're on TikTok too now. Aren't
We're on TikTok, baby.
Yeah. They are on TikTok. So.
At the 1867. Or I don't know.
1867.
Yeah, at
Collective.
1867 Collective. Yeah. No, yeah.
Okay. Well, great. Well, that should wrap it up for today.
Yeah.
I think we've got everything we need. I guess we'll see you soon.
See you in the next one.
All right. You think Brad hates us?
That's my line.